What's up, everybody? Tyson Roush. Let's talk Jets. This video has nothing to do with the New York Jets or football. So if you're looking for that kind of content, please check out the rest of the channel. I would definitely appreciate it. As most of you know by now, I'm a mental health advocate, and I like to have conversations about mental health, as I think there are far too many people suffering in silence, and the stigmas around mental health need to be broken. We need to have an environment where people can talk about depression, anxiety, and other things without being judged. And that would make this world so much a better place. Because right now, it's like you see, there's so many stories about, especially at a young age, kids committing suicide. And it's like, we got to change it. We got to get the message out there that there's help to be. Help is literally a phone call, an email, a text, a conversation away. Literally there. So we got to have people say, you know what? It's okay that you're struggling. It's fine, but we're here to help you, and we understand. And thank you to those that share videos with me and share messages and direct messages and tag me in things. I always like to hear stories. I like to try to help out. I like to learn. And the one video I was tagged in was the lead singer of Disturbed was talking about how he missed his friends. Chris Cornell, Chester Bennington, Scott Weiland, and the crowd's like, yeah, we miss him too. And it was sad. It was tragic. I remember the day that all happened. I was heartbroken for Chester Bennington. And then he said, you know what? I almost joined him. And the crowd went silent. Like, what? He was in such a dark place that he almost considered taking his own life. And thankfully, he changed it, and he didn't do it, and he found a way to overcome it. And now he's sharing that message to help other people, which is tremendous and ridiculously brave. And I give him so much credit for doing that. But it kind of reiterates that, depression and anxiety don't care about your salary, your job, your status in the world, or whatever it is, right? It's just, it can happen to anybody. And you've seen it. I mean, look at how many prominent people in this world that have, millions of dollars and all this, the best things that you could ever afford, that take their own lives, right? So for people that struggle with depression and anxiety, first you gotta understand is you're not alone. This is something that, yes, it's difficult, but you can get help. And the most important thing is it takes a lot of courage to ask for help, but you have to do it. You just can't, a lot of times when you feel overwhelmed and you're stuck in this gray area. And the thing is, there's a big difference between depression, anxiety, having a bad day. Like stubbing your toe, being late to work, stuff like that. Bad day, not depression and anxiety and things like that. Like I've dealt with it. I've dealt with depression and anxiety. And I can tell you, it's overwhelming. It can completely consume your life. It'll consume every thought in your head. It could change the way you go to work. It could change you wanting to go to work, wanting to leave the house, wanting to put the lights on. It could change everything. So the most important thing is to, once you figure out that you identify you have these problems and you can't handle them yourself, like for me personally, I go running, I do different things. I try to keep myself occupied where it's like, all right, listen, I'm in this bad space, but I need to find a way out of it. And I understand it's not easy sometimes, but then it's like, you know what? I can't keep sitting here. I've got to get the help I need. I got to find that thing that's going to get me the momentum back in the right path where I feel better about things, right? So if it's not the things you could always do, it's having a conversation. Find people that you trust, whether it's friends or family. And I think the one thing everybody worries about is you're going to be judged, right? Like you say, hey man, you know what? What are you weak? What are you this? Especially for men. And it's not, don't worry about judgment. Worry about getting help. And the one thing you're going to know when you open up to somebody you feel comfortable with is they're going to understand and they can actually relate. A lot of times you're like, you know what? Either they know something about it or somebody close to them has also dealt with that and they can get you help. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, just get professional help. There are hotlines, there are text lines, there's therapists, there's online communities that are anonymous that you can get help. But that could be the difference between you finding a way for happiness much sooner rather than later, right? So get the help, ask for it, and don't be afraid about the results. And if you encounter somebody that kind of neglects you or whatever, you're like, dude, all right, on to the next one, man. You don't let setbacks hold you back. Keep persevering and find the ways to get the help you need so you can live the life that you want to live. So the other interesting video that came out, obviously you guys know I'm an enormous fan of Shinedown. Brent and Zach and all those guys do a great job of talking openly about mental health, the struggles they've had. Their lyrics are all full of motivational stories and inspiring stories. Brent has put some videos out there that are just incredible with his openness. But the one was a video made by the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, where it was a father with a family and he was slowly but surely isolating himself and not doing the things he normally did. Wasn't going to the kids' games, wasn't spend time with the children, wasn't spend time with his wife, didn't want to go out, didn't want to go bowling, didn't want to do this. And there's so many red flags there. It's like, all right, there's something up. And I think as a society, sometimes we get so caught up in our own lives and social media, all this stuff, we don't see things that are going on in front of us. And I think sometimes it's not bad to reach out to somebody you haven't talked to in a while. Or notice, hey, you know what? You haven't been yourself for the last few days. Everything cool? You need anything? You want to get a burger? You want to get a beer? You want to talk? Whatever. Like we gotta be like more just supportive of each other and notice it. And there's people that reach out to me that people I've just met over the years doing this show, and I appreciate it. And there's people that I reach out to friends, and and one of my biggest regrets is that there was a really good friend of mine that we kept making plans to hang out and doing things, and we just got caught up in life, right? And then it's just, I'll never forget. Like I was like, man, like today's a day, or no, I was like I want to call him. Let's go out and do something. And he was no longer with us. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, this is like 6 months of us talking about this, and it was just, I'm like, and not that it's like you're just like, how does this happen? So I think it's just something to be aware of what's going on around us with our loved ones, with our friends. Just reaching out. Like I said, a text takes 2 seconds. Be observant and be willing to help. Because people don't understand, some of the struggles with mental health are tough, man. And it's just, I don't think, unless you go through it, you probably don't realize how difficult it can be for somebody, how overwhelming it can be, and completely alter their life path. But there are answers for it. And again, it's not always easy, but it has to be done. So I probably rambled a little bit. But the bottom line is, if you deal with mental health issues, just understand you're not alone, man. You're so not alone. There's so many people out there. And I give so much credit to all the prominent celebrities and athletes that are more outspoken about it. I mean, Jay Glazer's doing an excellent job. I mean, everybody's more outspoken. Like, you know what? There's stuff going on here, and I want to share my story so I can help somebody and realize that we're all in this together. Literally, like we all are in this together. So just understand that you're not alone. Help is always there. And if you ever need anything, just, again, make the phone call, have the conversation. Better days will be ahead. And it's just like, sometimes it's just getting to that next day. Just get to the next day. The sun comes out, you're like, boom, okay, I got to change my path here. This is what I got to do. The other thing that you got to keep in mind too, now I'm definitely rambling, is a lot of times when you go through depression and anxiety, one of the things you do to try to offset it or kind of fix yourself is drinking or drugs like that. And I'm telling you from personal, like from my experiences, it's probably the worst thing you can do. Because while it may alter your mood a little bit, 9 out of 10 times it makes you 10 times worse. And then when you wake up the next day, you feel even worse about yourself. And you're just kind of adding more problems to the mix. So medicating yourself, like with drugs illegal drugs, drinking excessively, those aren't the answers, man. The answer is having the conversation and getting help. If it's not from somebody that get professional help, get anonymous help, use the hotlines, use whatever you can, but don't give up and keep after it. So that's it. Like I said, I know I rambled, probably went around the bush a couple times here with this, but that's it. Have a good day. We're all in this together, and I'll talk to you later.